Another day, more drama in the DC universe, the DC fandom, the SnyderVerse. So still, there is multiple topics to talk about because of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. You should be thankful to him because without him, Henry Cavill would not be returning to be beloved Kal-El Clark Kent, aka Soupy Drizzle Superman. So, if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, pop culture based content. Yes, I know. We are DC heavy, but we do cover Marvel, DC, pop culture, kaiju stuff. We cover everything. So, if you could, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below, what is your opinion about everything that we've spoke about in this video? If you could, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the more beautiful voice. And if you could, check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, aka WarstuG, because someone robbed my handle. So, for the longest time, there's been this laughable quote going around where The Rock says, the power in the DC hierarchy is about to change. Now, I don't know when he said this for the first time, but I do remember at DC Fandom event 2021, he said it, he called out everyone, literally called out Superman, was like, yo, the DC power is about to change. He's even put it on his merchandise with Under Armour for the Black Adam release. There's like t-shirts, shorts, even trainers, and there's a vest top hoodie which says the power of the DC hierarchy is just about to change, which I think is fantastic. But we finally know what that's about, so careful for spoilers, although this actually isn't a spoiler. So the news has circulated around the internet, and let's be honest, circle around the internet for at least, 3 to 6 months, big time frame, that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to be head of DC Films. Okay, maybe not head of DC Films, but he's very influential in Hollywood. And it does seem like his partnership with Seven Ducks Production and Warner Bros. Discovery, which is now called, it does somewhat seem he has control over what is going on with DC going forward. Why? Because DC needs to make money. The Rock knows how to make money. The Rock wanted Henry Cavill Superman in this movie since 2020 because he commissioned Boss Logic to draw an image, also a GIF moving image of Henry Cavill Superman destroying Black Adam. Hence why I ran the story back in 2020 saying The Rock would face off versus Superman, and this happens in this movie. But The Rock literally demanded this, according to multiple insiders, viewer anon, etc., saying it's all thanks to The Rock. The Rock demanded they made a new deal, so we know we're getting Henry Cavill Superman at least in Black Adam, at least in The Flash, at least in Black Adam 2, and most definitely likely in Man of Steel 2, Man of Tomorrow. And I put up an image on my Twitter saying it should be Sasha Calle Supergirl and Henry Cavill Superman going up against someone like Brainiac, and y'all took offense. Why would you take offense to that? What's better than having one Kryptonian, having two? It'd be so freaking cool. The Supergirl TV show that was on CBS with Melissa Benoist was pretty good. When they brought it up to CW, the standard kind of dropped. The first 2 seasons were all right, but Supergirl, Kara Zor-El, is a freaking awesome character. So is Power Girl. So the more characters in DC, the better. Where am I going with this? So it appears The Rock does have the power to do everything. And we've heard rumors that The Rock is going to essentially face off against the Justice League and the Suicide Squad, etc. I don't actually think that's going to happen anytime soon, to be honest. I really don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. It could do. No, careful spoilers, don't ruin your life. We know there's an ending scene in the Black Adam movie where Henry Cavill Superman turns up, says, I think we need a conversation. I think we need to talk. So Amanda Waller basically says, yo, Black Adam, you stay here. It's your prison. He's like, else what? I'm the strongest person on this planet. And she's like, I'll get someone who's not from this planet. And we all know Superman with bitch slap Black Adam easily. So obviously, whatever they're setting up at the end of Black Adam could set up Justice League 2, could set up anything. Really could. Could be the Legion of Doom versus the Justice League. It could be anything. We don't know. But essentially, the fact that Rock has brought Henry Cavill Superman back, we've been trying to get him back for years. He's had multiple conversations with his rep agent, Danny Garcia, trying to make a new deal with Warner Brothers, but allegedly, according to Grace Randolph, it was always about the money. Okay, is it about the money now, Grace? Tell us, did he get the money? Of course he got the money because The Rock demanded it. So if The Rock can demand that, he can demand whatever he wants. Now, the hierarchy of DCEU is about to change, but this is all pinnacle on Black Adam at least making $700 million. It's got to make money. Why? Because a lot of people don't seem to understand that Warner Brothers Discovery actually may have taken over from AT&T, but they are in debt. Now, this is where the SnyderVerse story comes into this. So a lot of the SnyderVerse fans are going to boycott Black Adam and the next 3 movies because they're not SnyderVerse canon. But what you don't understand, SnyderVerse fans, is you don't understand Warner Bros. Discovery inherited a lot of business, financial, hierarchy mess within buy-in, taking over, merging, kind of making a new company. But let's be honest, that's how they did it. And they've got to correct all the mistakes the old regime made before they can go forward and potentially get the nightmare scene and get Superman that's been taken over by the anti-life equation, hence why he's in the Man of Steel suit. So in order to do that, you need Black Adam, The Flash, Shazam 2 Fury of the Gods, Aquaman 2, Blue Beetle. These all need to make money. So I don't think Zack Snyder's vision's finished with, but until they have recovered the money that they're in debt, they can't really move forward with the Snyderverse. So if these Snyderverse fans are actually DC fans, then you should go watch anything. And people crying because Henry Cavill Superman returns and he's in the Man of Steel suit. Well, why wouldn't he be in the Man of Steel suit? Zack Snyder's Justice League movie isn't canon. And even if it is canon, once he was revived in both movies, I know he only had the black suit in the Snyder Cut, he wouldn't keep the black suit on forever, so that doesn't discredit that. Now, the biggest problem here is, according to everything I know, careful spoilers don't ruin your life, is apparently the Justice Society of America and Black Adam have always been around. So Superman wouldn't have actually been the first person with super abilities within the DC continuity anyway. So you need to understand that they've got to make money. So if you really are a DC fan, a Superman fan, even if it's not the Hans Zimmerman theme, okay, cool. We've heard it's not. We've heard it's the John Williams score, but we don't know. They need to make money in order to spend money, in order to, in theory, get the Snyderverse to continue in its own multiverse, if that's what they want to do. But boycotting DC films is only going to hurt the chances of, in the future, of the Snyderverse being restored there. What we have now is a set for Ray Fisher Cyborg. We've literally got all the Snyderverse characters back with the actors as well, which, in my opinion, is the best we're going to get for the next 5 years, because, careful for spoilers, how many spoiler warnings do we need to give in this video? Zack Snyder can't return anytime soon because he is locked in at Netflix with Rebel Moon 1 and 2, and he's doing a plethora of other roles. Also, Henry Cavill Superman can't jump on Man of Steel 2 anyway because they're shooting Witcher Season 4 and 5 back-to-back, so he's going to be busy for a couple of years as well. So we're not getting a Man of Steel movie for at least 2 to 3 years. Anyway, so if you really are a DC fan, support DC and stop crying that it's not Hans Zimmerman. They could change it. The Rock scene's very influential over at Warner Bros. Discovery. They could change it in time. There's still 2 weeks till the movie comes out. They could change the score, but they're not going to put him in the black suit. I guarantee they're not going to put him in the black suit. So also in the news, there's been a lot of drama, a lot of speculation over the Flash movie. So I try not to specifically talk about scoopers by name on this channel, but we're going to have to do it. So there is one scooper called Sul Abdul. Sorry if I said your name wrong. So he said a bunch of stuff recently. Major reshoots, major rewrites. I don't know. I know they've been working on a movie all summer. So he could be right. He could be wrong. I don't know. No one actually knows, but we do know what happens in the original movie. So if when the movie comes out, they probably will test screen it again. If there isn't major changes, then Mr. Sul Abdul is wrong. But then there's the other camp, the more traditional scoopers on Twitter, saying the following about the Flash movie. My time to shine. Michael Keaton is still the new Batman for the DCEU at the end of the movie. Okay, then people's logic is, okay, if this is the case, why did they scrap his whole role in Batgirl? Well, they scrapped the whole movie. Now, people keep saying that he trained Barbara Gordon. No, he didn't. That was never going to be the case. The plot leak is online if you want to read it. That was never the case. And then people say, yeah, but Ben Affleck turns up in Aquaman 2. Okay, there's reports going around that Aquaman 2 actually takes place before the Flash movie. Now, even if Aquaman 2 comes out after the Flash movie, which it is scheduled to, it doesn't necessarily mean in terms of continuity and in terms of the timeline that it's taking place after the Flash. It could take place before the Flash. Remember the feedback for Aquaman 2, why the hell is Michael Keaton here? So that doesn't discredit that at all. Now, according to My Time to Shine, the only change they made were Henry Cavill, Superman, appearing in the movie, and it doesn't say this, but from what I've understood from talking to people is there will be some kind of scene with Henry Cavill, Superman, Supergirl, and the Flash. So we know that Ezra Miller did 1 day of pickup shots. You can't change a movie in 1 day. Pickup shots is just, they're pickup shots. It's in the name. So I don't know who to believe. As I keep saying, I'm not a scooper. Don't want to be. Please don't call me that, or else I'll come after you, bro. But I get told stuff. And yes, I do use Twitter. I do get sent stuff all the time from other scoopers, from My Time to Shine, Casey Walsh, Saul Abdul, and a bunch of other scoopers. And it's like, who do you believe? This is the problem that people have. It's like, oh, I don't know who to believe, but My Time to Shine said this, but Saul Abdul said this. And it's like, if you were to ask me, do I think Ben Affleck is going to be the Batman going forward? Yes. But at the same time, if Ben Affleck hasn't signed to 4 to 5 years going forward, then his cameo role in Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom, literally makes no difference. So I'm neither going to say he, she, either kind of person is right. I presume My Time to Shine is a girl based on the avatar. I don't know if they are a girl. Or what I'm trying to say is chill out, guys. We're all fans here. We don't know who's right. We don't know who's wrong, but we do know this. Whoever is wrong is going to get roasted when the Flash movie comes out. So do I think there's been massive changes? No. I think they've definitely changed parts of the third act. Sure, and maybe parts of the first act, but the information doesn't really suggest that. There's just one person called Saul Abdul saying they've changed a bunch of stuff. And until that's proven wrong, then I guess you've got to believe what he's saying. But then at the same time, we had another page called The Flash Film News coming out saying a lot of stuff. And they do talk to the machetes who are directing it. But to be honest, would the directors claim and actually come out and say if they change a bunch of stuff? We don't know. Exclusive. There were no rewrites to The Flash after principal photography. Completed, no big change made to the original script. So, if you go by that, you would say, well, then the information from Sir Abdul must be wrong, if that's what they're saying. But we have no way of vetting the information. Is it actually true? Yeah, sure, I believe they've changed things here and there. But in the original script, careful spoilers, I don't want to ruin your life, there was supposed to change the scene. So it's Sasha Kelly's Supergirl fighting for Yora and Zod, and the baby Superboy from Krypton was going to die. So would that be a big change? Yeah, it would be a big change. So we all agree that Henry Cavill Superman will be in the Flash movie. There's no disputing that. There is no disputing that. Everyone agrees on that, and it's so freaking cute. But for some reason, people can't seem to agree on, is there major reshoots? We don't know. Now, yes, they have been ongoing working on this movie for such a long time, throughout the summer doing reshoots, but these reshoots didn't take very long. And if they were doing reshoots, and if they are taking Keaton out, surely Michael Keaton would have to do reshoots in order to be killed off out of the movie or taken out of the movie, and likewise with Ben Affleck, but there's been no reports that Affleck was doing reshoots. There's been reports that Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman has done reshoots, Henry Cavill Superman has done reshoots, and Ezra Miller has done reshoots. Also, there's information going out there from loads of different camps, I'm not going to say who, saying, Ezra Miller's going to be fired, he's going to be recasted at the end of the movie, and everyone seems to believe that. There's other camps saying, no, he's not. It's always a case of he said, she said. People will mainly go by who has the most credibility, who's got the best track record, and who's been in the game longer. And then information came out the other day saying The Flash is locked. All that remains is VFX, sound mixing, and other post-production polish. That doesn't impact the edit. It all sounds like basic film production wording that anyone could say. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is chill. No one knows anything, really. I can't get my head around Michael Keaton being the Batman going forward. I really can't. It doesn't make any sense now that Batgirl's not coming out. But like I say, Batgirl didn't get trained by Batman, Michael Keaton. So it's going to be interesting to find out when we get the next test screener to see what information comes out, because then you go by the plot, and according to people who went to test screener, it's the best DC movie ever that's screen tested since The Dark Knight. That's how high it was screen tested. So you're telling me the Flash movie is on the levels of the Dark Knight trilogy, but then we have one camp saying major reshoots, the other camp saying no minor reshoots. It's just Superman and Supergirl stuff being added and a few additional things here and there. Unless you're changing over 20% of the movie, it is really minor reshoots. So I just wanted to add this here because I get the image and people tell me that apparently I've got major beef with all these Twitter scoopers. I don't have beef with anyone. I don't dislike anyone. I just report whatever information I think is true based on information I've already known, been told, and what factually and what logically makes sound sense. So like always, guys, please check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Would love to hit 23,000 followers on Instagram this year. Check us out on the Twitter sphere because I've got no clout or Warstu G. And I will catch you guys in another video very soon. Catch ya later.